Hey everyone. Hey, I'm Brandon, and welcome to the next Anime Nights streaming event. This is streaming event 10, and I actually can't believe that I've done 10 of these already. And this is pretty exciting because I've got a lot of announcements for Anime Nights Club that I want to talk about. Also, I'm doing my usual unboxing segment. So I have a couple of Blu-ray releases that I'm going to talk about, which include Flip Flappers Blu-ray Volume 5. And the final volume comes out tomorrow in Japan. GANGSTA Volume 5, which is really cool. Really like this release. It's really awesome. Also, I have Scum's Wish, which is Kuzu no Honkai in Japanese, and this is Volume 2. It's a really good release. And then last but not least is the Blu-ray of Fate Grand Order. Now you're probably wondering why there's all this yellow tape on here. This is the Amazon Japan version, so it actually includes some production duplicate keyframes, which I'll actually discuss tonight as well. But first up is going to be the Anime Nights upcoming events. So typically what I normally do for these streaming segments is the first thing is I talk about all of the events coming up that I have lined up. And if you follow on the Facebook group on Anime Nights Underground, you can actually find it. All the events that are listed, most of them anyway. If you're not a part of the group, send me a message and or send me a message through Twitter at BeatSlars, and you'll be able to find me on there. And if anybody has any questions or anything, just throw it on the chat box, and we can kind of go through there after the segment and kind of talk about, what's your favorite anime this season, or any ideas for an event that you want to see. So just kind of let me know. So first up is going to be next week is a 2-day event. It's on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, which is June 6th and June 7th. There's going to be a magazine issue for this event. Still kind of working on it and everything. And there's going to be an official illustration that I've drawn, which I have here. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. It's really adorable. And it's the mascot of Anime Nights. It's Reina, and she is fighting off evildoers. Haven't added any background yet, but I'm going to. And yeah, post in the chat box. Let me know what you guys think. So there's going to be a magazine on it, kind of talking about like the top 10 best sci-fi anime, mostly TV anime. So what it's going to include, it's going to be any animated work that kind of is showcased with sci-fi. This will be including Psycho-Pass for day one. This will be Psycho-Pass by Production IG. There's also going to be Kaiba by the director Masaki Yuasa, who did Tatami Galaxy and Kimonozume, and also Ping Pong the animation. The third anime that I'm going to be showing is going to be Gatchaman Crowds. I'm also going to be showing Steins Gate, Darker Than Black, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, which is an awesome television anime. And last but not least is going to be Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's going to be the Blu-ray release, so it's going to be in pristine quality. And I'm really looking forward to watching that because I haven't actually fully seen the first episode on Blu-ray yet. The second day is actually going to be really exciting because I've got some older shows lined up like Bubblegum Crisis, Galaxy Express 999, and I've got a lot of other titles kind of mashed up in there, which is going to be very, very neat to kind of see stuff from the 90s all the way up into the mid-2000s and into today. So it'll be really neat to kind of watch all of those. After that is one of the bigger events. This is on June 28th. And And this is going to be an animation studio spotlight on Kyoto Animation. This lineup is actually going to include anything that was animated by Kyoto Animation. And the titles that I'll be screening include The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Clannad, Keion, Hyoka, Free, Kyokai no Kanata, which translates to Beyond the Boundary, Sound Euphonium, and I've also added an 8th episode of a series, and it's Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. There's going to be tote bags. There's going to be tons of other things going on with this event. It's just going to be a lot of fun. Kyoto Animation is very fun to watch, and it's just going to be kind of neat to be able to see more of a bright atmosphere compared to what we're normally used to with the screenings. This last event that I did was for the Hero event. It was a 4-part event, and we watched Samurai Flamenco, all 22 episodes. And then on the last day, which we had 2 open slots for some anime, we ended up watching the first episodes of Tiger and Bunny and Hero Academia. And it was a lot of fun. But this time around, it'll be kind of cool to see something a lot more bright. Also, the prizes that I'll be included is going to be illustration sets, which is going to be from Sound Euphonium, which include this illustration here, this one, and it kind of folds out like this, and these. So really neat. That's one of the prizes. The other one is actually going to be Keion Blu-ray Volume 3. And this is the single volume release. This isn't like the complete collection or anything like that. I may be adding that to the list. Also included is going to be the Sound Euphonium Pony Canyon release, which is really exciting because they feature them in like this huge casing, and it's like won't even match any collector's original set of regular anime because it's in this dodeca case, which is like this tall. It's pretty awesome. After that is going to be in July is going to be this Anime Nights Presents a Box of Animation. And like I mentioned this in my previous streaming event, it's going to be anyone that attends can pick from a box of over 200 anime. They just grab a slip of paper out, and that's what we're going to watch. It's completely random. There's going to be comedy. There's going to be action, sci-fi, drama. I might throw some ecchi in there just for the heck of it. So maybe some To Love Ru. You just never know. I mean, it could be a mixed bag. We could go from watching an episode of Kids on the Slope to watching High School DxD, which is not really my favorite, but I'll throw that in there anyway, just for kicks. After that, there's going to be a 2-day event on July 25th and 26th. And this is going to be an Anime Nights Presents Another Genre Spotlight. And it's going to be on comedy. Now, this will include anything that is focused on comedy, and that's its main priority, is getting comedy across to the viewer in most of its episodes. So day 1 is actually going to include series like Excel Saga, Orenshi no Furo Jijo, Sakamoto desu ka, Shirokuma Cafe, Konosuba Season 2, and in the next event, the sci-fi one, I'm actually going to have anyone that shows up at that event kind of pick the episode that they want to see most out of it from Season 2, if they have seen Season 2, because really any of those episodes are hilarious. And the cast is so good. After that is going to be Muromi-san. And then day 2 on July 26th is going to include anime series of the first episodes of the following: Arakawa Under the Bridge, Nichijo, Gekken Shoujo Nozaki-kun, Oran High School Host Club, Welcome to the NHK, My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, and another episode of Sakamoto Desu Ka, because you can't get enough of that show. The prize that will be included is the Nichijou Blu-ray. I might throw in the manga and that just for kicks too. After that, on August 5th is at 3 p.m. It's on a Saturday, and we're starting really early this time rather than starting at like 7 o'clock at night. So I guess it's not really like an anime night. It's like an anime whole day. So I might play around with a joke with that. But it's going to be a spotlight on food-themed animated works. This came as a suggestion to a couple of my friends in the group, and I think it's an awesome idea. There's going to be food lined up for it, focused on some of these shows. I'm going to try to get some candy from one of the shows, which one of them is going to be Dagashi Kashi. So the lineup is actually going to be the following, and it's a lot since we're starting at 3 p.m. and going until whenever. This will include Food Wars, Yakitake Japan, Graffiti Girl, Bento Wars, which is also translated to Bento, Dagashi Kashi, Restaurante Paradiso, Wakako Kaze, Yumeiro Patisserie, Bartender, Sweetness and Lightning, Silver Spoon, more specifically the pizza episode, which is episode 4, and Mr. Ajiko. This is going to be a lot of fun because basically all these shows, excluding Restaurante Paradiso, the Anime Nights has not done. And there's actually 2 on here that I've never seen. Mr. Ajiko and Yakitake Japan. So I'm really looking forward to those. And it's only going to be the first episode or maybe 2, kind of depending on seeing how the day and the night goes. But we're going to kind of play around with it and see. So it's going to be awesome. On August 9th is going to be an Anime Nights Presents Bleach in 4K. We're doing the first 6 episodes in UHD format. And not much else to really say about that event. Other than I haven't seen Bleach in a couple of years, and so it'll be good to kind of get back into it. I may end up watching One Piece finally, which I've only seen a few episodes of, and have never gotten around to finishing it. Well, getting up to the point where it's at. After that, on August 27th and August 28th is going to be the Anime Nights Presents a Space Dandy Marathon. Now, I've done this 2 years now. So this is coming up pretty quickly, and we're going to be marathoning the whole anime again, because what's not to love about Space Dandy? Such creativity. And I'm also going to have the magazine reprinted. I've been thinking about doing a hardbound edition for it. If anybody has any recommendations on how I could get that done, just send me a message on the chat box or email me at beatslars@gmail.com. Kind of let me know. After that, in September, now that kind of concludes all the summer events. I don't have anything else lined up, but if anybody has any other suggestions, just kind of let me know. So in September, September 12th and September 13th, a 2-day event, is going to be an animation studio spotlight on Madhouse. Now, this was really, really difficult to choose because I love basically every Madhouse-produced anime, because I've seen just about all of them. So the reason why I did a 2-day event is because I really wanted to pick some shows that were my favorites, but I also wanted anybody that comes to the Anime Nights events to kind of pick what they want to see. So we'll be doing kind of like a drawing at one of the other events and chatting through the Anime Nights Messenger Facebook group page and just kind of discussing what we want to see on the second day. On the first day is going to be Morio no Hako, which translates to Box of Goblins. It's an intellectual horror anime. Chihara Furu, which is a series about Karuta. Monster, Paradise Kiss, Kasern Sins, and Magical Shopping Arcade Abanabashi. So I wanted to mix it up between horror, drama, a little bit of action, sci-fi, and comedy, just to kind of mix it up. And then the second day, you guys get to pick. You guys get to choose, you know, between like Death Parade, Death Note, One Punch Man. I mean, I left out most of the popular shows because I know that's basically what everyone likes. And I mean, I'd like to see Death Note because that show's great. And then One Punch Man, who doesn't love that anime? So it's really anything that Madhouse has produced from the beginning of their works to today. I don't really have any prizes lined up, but if anyone has any suggestions, just throw in the chat box and let me know. After that, September 27th is an Anime Nights Composer Spotlight on Kenji Kawai. This will be composed of, pun intended, will be composed of series including Project Echo, Windy Tales, Morabito, Guardian of the Spirit, Higashi no Eden, which translates to Eden of the East, Barakamon, and Mob Psycho 100. This particular selection was very difficult to choose as well, like the Madhouse one was, because I really like Kenji Kawai. He's one of my favorite anime composers, and there's a lot of stuff that he's done that is really powerful. For instance, Joker Game, Hana Moyo, and most recently, The Perfect Insider has one of the best piano compositions that I've ever heard in an anime score. It's got like 2 or 3 tracks on there that are just amazing. So we're also, after the event, if everything goes smoothly, we're going to be listening to a collection of songs from various anime that Kenji Kawai has composed music for. So this will include from The Perfect Insider, Joker Game, Skycrawlers, the animated film, Fate Stay Night, the 2004 version, Hyper Police, Mobile Suit Gundam 00, Hana Moyo, and Mobile Police Patlabor. And we're also going to include The Ghost in the Shell, the 1995 film, in there as well, because that's like some of his best work. So we're going to be listening to all that, and prizes will obviously be soundtracks and stuff like that. So if anyone wants to donate, just go to the PayPal link on the Anime Nights Underground or in the tweet I posted earlier today. And if you're interested in donating, even $1 or $5 helps. After that, what's slated in October, tentative, I've got October 10th and 11th slated. This will be the Darker Than Black Season 1 marathon. And we're going to be starting a little early on this one since it's 25 episodes. It's 2 core. So we're just going to be watching the entire first season. It's been years since I've seen it, and I really just wanted to watch it again. And kind of moving forward with that, and that's the only one I have slated for October. Moving forward with that, on November 1st is an Anime Nights presents Raikon, which in Japanese means inspiration. So what is it that inspires you, like anime related? What shows inspire, like kind of drive you to be more focused and everything? So like shows like Bakuman, about 2 high school students creating manga, and then Chihara Furu. A lot of the Karuta matches that are throughout the series, seasons 1 and 2, are very, very powerful, emotionally engaging, and just very inspiring. So we're going to watch those 2 episodes, including Great Teacher Onizuka, Beck, which is a series about music, Rainbow, which is about prison inmates that do boxing, Hanasaku Iroha, and of course, Yuri on Ice. I mean, I can't think of really any other anime that's so inspiring. I mean, Bakuman is so good, and I would love to marathon all 75 episodes. That would take forever. It's kind of what one of my friends was saying earlier. They're like, hey, you should marathon Bakuman. I'm like, whoa, there's 75 episodes. Holy crap. In December, December 1st and 2nd, kind of tying in with doing Mob Psycho 100 in September, is another studio spotlight, and this is on Bones. This is a 2-day event, and we're going to be starting earlier, around 5 or so, on both those days, because there's so much to watch. 5 or 3 p.m. or so. So the current lineup, as it stands, is Snow White with Red Hair, Eureka 7, Wolf's Rain, Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I might throw in the first episode of the original series as well, Tokyo Magnitude 8.0, Star Driver, Gossick, Orin High School Host Club, Episode 2, Ango, Zetsu no Tempest, which translates to Blast of Tempest, Kekai Sensen, which translates to Blood Blockade Battlefront, Space Dandy, Concrete Revolution, Noragami, Karai Phantom Memory, My Hero Academia Episode 2, Bungo Stray Dogs, Mob Psycho 100 Episode 2, Ghost Slayers Ayashi, Roxaphion, Blood Blockade Battlefront Beyond, the new series that's going to be airing in the fall, Hitsugi no Chaika, which is Chaika the Coffin Princess, Number 6, and Angelic Layer. This list was impossible because Bones has produced so much content, even in the 2000s and the 2010s and such, that I mean, we could go on for days and watch stuff, and it still wouldn't be enough because there's a dozen series in here I would love to marathon. Eureka 7, Snow White with Red Hair, Wolf's Rain, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Star Driver, Mob Psycho 100, Space Dandy we're doing. Concrete Revolution is like the Watchmen of anime. It's so good. So I'm really looking forward to closing the year out with Bones, and then going into January doing the annual holiday anime event. So it's going to be awesome. If anyone wants to donate or help out with the event, let me know. I'm going to try to reach out to Right Stuff and try to get some swag items and anybody else that wants to help out, because I want to make this a huge event, because it will be the last one for 2017. But as it stands, after that, I don't have anything else slated. So that's really it. If anything changes, I will be changing it on the Facebook event pages. I'll be updating the meetups pages too within the coming week or so. And if anyone has any suggestions or comments they want to post in the chat box about any of the events, any concerns, just kind of let me know and I can accommodate and stuff. But that's really it for the Anime Nights events. Now going on to the next whole segment is the unboxing thing. Now, I bet you guys have been really wanting to see this because the first kind of item of this segment is going to be the Fate Granddaughter Blu-ray set. Now, I don't even know if this includes subs or not. I wish it did. But the reason for all this tape that's on here is because it included, the Amazon Japan version includes keyframes. They are duplicates, so if you are still able to get more, if you're able to order it on Amazon and getting the Amazon Japan edition, you'll have the same exact keyframes that I do, which is very, very neat. I've got a nice small collection going. So I'll just kind of dive in and kind of talk about what all content kind of comes in with Fate Granddaughter Blu-ray set. This also includes a viewcast version of the anime, which is really nice. So it comes in this nice kind of big packaging. So this comes in a slipcase, and it's this clear plastic. Slides out like so. It's really cool because the title actually has a nice little shine to it, which is really neat. So here is the release. So it's got kind of a nice little texture on the front and on the back. So when you open it up, it comes with this booklet, production information, staff interviews, the usual that you would get in a Japanese Blu-ray. It's got the usual, the Aniplex QR deal, and also a little ad for this Fate Grand Order Epic of Remnant. Show you that artwork there. That's really neat. There's like a viewcast deal with this whole thing, so it might be like an extra episode or something. So I'll have to look into that. But this is the release. This includes the special 75 or so minute special OVA. And then on this side is the original soundtrack, which is really, really nice to have. So the actual release, it has an original story disc. So it's completely original. It's not based off of anything. It has the original soundtrack, the artwork on the front and the back. If you notice, are done by the same illustrator that did Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, which is Takeuchi Takeshi. And then it's also the soundtrack has 31 tracks on it. There's a special booklet. There's also bonus footage, which has a television commercial and all of the PVs for Fate Grand Order that they ever released, like web trailers and stuff like that. So this is a really nice release. It's really sturdy too. So I can't wait to check this out. The booklet, let me get that open here. The booklet has a nice kind of a blue tint to it, kind of a nice shine. This actually has a lot of stuff. It has character designs. There's Castor. And I think that's Lancer. Yeah, Castor and Lancer. It's weird watching this because some of the gender roles are reversed. So it's strange, but I really like it, and I hope they do more. They have stated that they will be possibly doing a television anime for Fate Grand Order sometime along the road, but they're just not sure when. But there was a comment on Twitter by one of the animators of the series about it. So here's some of the other character designs, which is really nice. And it's got some setting material. It also has staff interviews, cast interviews, stuff like that. So this is a really cool booklet. So it's just a nice release. They actually, like most Blu-rays and stuff, they improve the animation. So the actual look of the anime looks incredible. And last but not least is I will show you those keyframes. So the keyframes that were included, they came in this little pouch deal. And that's typically how most of the keyframes that you can get when you when it becomes a bonus, or tokuten, as they refer to it in Japanese. Usually that's how it will come packaged when you get production material like that for a retail release. Not very often you get it. there's been a few times where I've only seen it. None of my Japanese Blu-ray releases have ever gotten it, except for Kizo Monogatari, which were mini Genga. Um, but here's the first one, which is really cool. This one's awesome. And actually, I printed off, I was able to track down the actual anime frame by that from the episode. So I pulled that up. So here it is side by side. So that's kind of what that looks like, which is really, really cool. I really like this. And then one after that is kind of towards the middle of the episode. This one's very cool. Really like that. Neat. And then after that, some close-up shots here. And I really like how it's colored in and stuff. And you can tell like where some of the motion would end up being by the designations and stuff, and the just really kind of how it would flow. So really like that one. I would love to have the legitimate keyframes to this, because it would just be amazing. Here is one of, I believe, Saber. Yeah, that one's really cool. And I really like how they kind of, most of it's in black and white, but then they show a little bit of color up top there, which is really neat. So that one's really cool. And then this one's one of my favorites. I really like this one. And if you notice, I mean, there's like a tint, like a light green, like a lime green almost, kind of colored in and stuff, which is really, really neat. And then like the reds and all that stuff, just to kind of show a little bit more like detail and such. But yeah, if you can get your hands on a copy of the Amazon version, I highly suggest it. Now, it's funny because when I ordered this, it was the last one, but then I checked online like a day later and they got more shipments in. Usually the Amazon versions are going to be about $15 to $20 more expensive than the regular standard limited edition, because it's a store bonus. But if you're a fan of collecting Genga, keyframes, production material, storyboards, all that jazz, I mean, I really recommend getting it because, I mean, they're duplicates, but they still look really amazing. So there are those keyframes, and that was the Fate Grand Order Blu-ray set. After that is the Flip Flappers Blu-ray Volume 5. This one's really, really nice. I love that artwork on the front and that kind of contrast between the blue and then the pink, and her hair. Kokona's hair kind of meshes really well with Papika's hair and such. It's really cool. This is a really nice release because this one, it has an audio commentary like some of the other ones had, but it has a web trailer, and this one has episodes 9 and 10 on it. And so we're getting pretty close to the end of the anime series, and it's just amazing. Like I really like what they've done with this release. So as usual, like the normal Flip Flappers deal, this thing comes off like so, and it's got the footprints and the snow there. And then it's got the illustration jacket there, done by the character designer. These slide out like so. The real question is if it will slide out. There we go. Okay. Now the jacket releases for this, like the inside cover. I like the jacket releases for this, but the inside covers are just amazing. Like they look so good, and they're all exclusive to the release. So here's this one. Really like this. It's really, really good. And then it's got the Blu-ray disc here, and then the content, like what the episodes are kind of about right there. I really like this back art here. It's really cool. It's like the blues and the pinks and stuff. Kind of goes well. It comes with the usual Pure Illusion memorial, which is like a guidebook, like a production book. So it's got the kawaii characters on the back from the ending sequence. And then it also has the character designs of villains and whatnot from previous episodes, which is really cool. And then, okay, so when I saw this specific episode with the multiple papikas, I was just astonished because I was like, oh my goodness, it's Dandy Paprika. It totally looks like Dandy, the hair, you know? So I thought that was hilarious. And it's just really cool because it's got all the designs of the different papikas in here and stuff. There's like Schoolgirl Papika, and it's just really neat. And Yayaka is on here too. It's really cool. And they have, well, I won't spoil that page if none of you have seen the show. They also have like some setting and object designs too, which is really neat. So that's the Pure Illusion book that comes with Blu-ray Volume 5. So I really like this. If you want to support the show and you want to see more of it, like if you want them to produce more, just support the releases and just buy them. Now this doesn't, like I've mentioned before, this does not include English subtitles. But if you want to support the show, I mean, by all means, just buy the Blu-ray. So that's Flip Flappers Blu-ray Volume 5. All right. Next up is one of my favorites, which is GANGSTA Blu-ray Volume 5. Now, I've been waiting for this forever. Like, I just have been. So, just because they delayed volumes 3 through 6 for about 1.5 years or so, and they actually turned out nice. On the Anime Nights Underground Facebook group, there's actually a live Facebook video that I've actually posted on there showcasing Volume 4's changes from the TV broadcast to the Blu-ray. I had the Blu-ray on my HD, my 4K TV, and then on my computer I had the TV broadcast, and I kind of explained some of the differences and stuff, and like the facial animation and the backgrounds and stuff, and just everything is pulled out more in the Blu-ray. There's so much more design to like the bar that they go to. I think it was called Bastard. And then just like Warwick's face in a lot of the scenes from previous episodes hadn't been drawn in fully, and so they actually like went in and touched everything up. But I may have mentioned this before, but I just kind of wondered, like, Manglo produced this anime, and they went bankrupt in 2015, but this was literally right after they had released Volume 1, and Volume 2 was still coming out, and they got Volume 2 slated and everything. Their business of operations were still going, so their business, like their building was still intact and everything. So they had workspace, but what did they do about volumes 3 through 6? I mean, obvious. I would guess that like a bank came in and bought them out or something. And I know like a lot of the animators that worked at Manglobe have found other work in other studios, whether it was like background animation studios or whatnot. And some of them found work at Bones and A1 Pictures. But I wonder, like, did they go to the disc manufacturer who's a motion? Did they go to their building and clean up the animation, or did they already have the animation fixed by that time? I mean, I would imagine not, because they wouldn't have delayed for a year and a half or so the rest of the releases. But my question is, what would they have done? Like, did they, do some subcontract work and rent out a building for X amount of months and, having the original staff work in there and just kind of like pay them back? Because I know that the animators weren't getting paid fully after the work was completed on the TV broadcast. So what do? Did they actually like bring in other animators too? Because I was looking at the credits from Volume 4 compared to the credits to the broadcast, and nothing had changed. I didn't see any changes at all. I've been looking through the booklets, and I've seen some minor differences with staff choice, but based on what the credits had said in the TV broadcast, and there's been a couple changes, but nothing major. So I wonder what would have, like what they would have done. So just, I don't know. They've like kind of kept that whole deal with Manglobe quiet. And Gino Studio, who had finished production on Genocidal Organ, Manglobe's last film. I don't know. It's a weird deal. But if anyone has any info on it, I'd love to hear about it. Just because Manglobe was one of my favorite animation studios, and I just kind of wonder, like, how did they do the animation for the rest of GANGSTA's Blu-ray release? Another interesting fact, actually, is that Fun Animation released GANGSTA on a Blu-ray DVD combo pack in May, and it's like one of the few times that a full series anime got released here in the US before Japan, because Japan's final volume, Volume 6, which has the final 2 episodes on it, it doesn't even come out until late June. And so the US release actually still has the full release available now. So, like, what? I mean, I wonder if they're released. I don't actually have the American release, but I'd love to go and check and see if Fun Animation got the approval licensing for, the licensing rights for the Blu-ray cleanup fixes. Because if they were selling the TV broadcast version, that would totally suck, because the broadcast sucks compared to the Blu-ray. I mean, it's like watching a completely different anime. A lot of the fight scenes are a lot more fluid. I mean, it looks awesome. So I can't wait to check out Volume 5, because there's a really good fight scene in there that was poorly animated during broadcast, and I can't wait to see what they've done. So anyway, going into enough of Manglobe and my curiosities about the studio and all that. Here's GANGSTA Blu-ray Volume 5. This features Alex Benedetto on the front. And here's the back. It's really like the style. So it slides out like all the other releases here. And it comes with a couple of different things. Includes episodes 9 and 10. Comes with a manga, like all the other volumes have done, like a short manga that's drawn by Koshk, the main author of GANGSTA, and a booklet, like a production booklet, and a drama CD. I really like this because it just, I'm really glad that Kosh is illustrating again, and she brought back her manga because it has resumed serialization. So here is the manga. Special comics is what they call it. So this one kind of just dives into a little bit more past. And what's really neat, there's a Tumblr page I follow, Benria-san, which Benria is the name for the handyman in GANGSTA. If you go to Benria-san, if you type that in on Google, you can find the Tumblr page of this group that actually has a lot of information about GANGSTA and like follows Kosh's Twitter page, the official Gangster page, the anime page and stuff. But they have an English translation of the first 4 special comics. So Blu-ray volumes 1 through 4 that had these comics are all translated on their site. So you can read them. So if you want more content about GANGSTA, go check that out. It's the Benria-san Tumblr page. It's like a fan site or something. It's really cool though. This also includes an original illustration that's finally in color. So there's that one. The last release had it in black and white. And here's the production booklet, like a gallery booklet, I guess. This has like some of the members of Bastard, and then it's got some of the villains in the anime, a lot of the weapons and stuff and objects that are featured in the show, which you don't get to see a lot in anime production booklets. It's got a little tidbit on Acts 9 and 10. I really like this too. This is cool. The production stuff on Warwick, Nicholas, Alex. This is really neat. These are keyframes, but they're mini stills that were printed onto the booklet. I would love to have those. Really, really cool. I think if you order the entire series or volumes 1 through 4 or something, you get duplicate keyframes, kind of like the Fate Grand Order ones I showed you guys. But it's got some other ones too. And these are specifically from episodes 9 and 10. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Acts 7 and 6 and 7, it looks like, yeah. It's also got storyboard material. This is the storyboard from the opening sequence. Really cool. I'd like to have that. And as usual, it's got a little section on sign language and how to do sign language, kind of based on the show. Really awesome. So that's the GANGSTA Blu-ray Volume 5 release. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. And if you want to support the show, I highly recommend getting the Japanese Blu-ray release because it's done by this manufacturer. I don't know if you can see this. Emotion right here on the side. If you ever see that symbol, you know it's Emotion. Sometimes they'll release it with English subtitles, which GANGSTA, all the Japanese Blu-ray releases have it. What's weird is I don't think the DVD versions do. So if you want the show with subs, get the Blu-ray. And the Amazon Japan edition came with an illustration postcard set, which I can grab real quick. which has got the little symbol here for Amazon Japan. This is one of the sheets. I think there's 5 in here. And when you bought volume 1, it comes with like a little folder, and you can slip the little illustration cards in here. So that's kind of neat. Later on, I might do like an overview of the whole GANGSTA series when it finally finishes releasing in June, and just kind of talk about it a little bit more and stuff, and then go over like the extra Amazon Japan store bonus stuff that I got with it. So that's the GANGSTA Blu-ray Volume 5 release. Last but not least, to kind of close out the whole segment, is this volume of Scum's Wish. This is Blu-ray Volume 2. Now this one is really cool because it has episodes 3 and 4 on it. I really wish that this release would have subtitles, but it doesn't, unfortunately. But this is a really good release. I really like what they've done with the slipcase. This thing's like so. So you have this like the vines and everything against the characters, and that slides out. And it's done by the character designer. Well, actually, it's done by the manga author Mingo Yokoyari, which I did like an illustrator spotlight on a couple of streaming events back, which you can watch on my channel. But this is the full release here. Really like this. This is really cool. This is the teacher, I believe. Yeah. So it comes with like a proof of purchase thing. It actually has 2 CDs. One of them is a, let's see here. Yeah, one of them is a drama CD. It's Drama CD Volume 2, because the first volume came with Drama CD Volume 1. And it's got an illustration book, and this is what they look like. I really like this, the color, the purple and stuff, kind of balances out the illustrations and everything of the full release. And then here is the booklet. These booklets are really thin, by the way. This is mainly like casting review and stuff. But it's got like a little detail on the episodes that are featured on this release. And it's also got an exclusive illustration by Mingo Yokoyari, which is this here. Really like that too. And then it's got a cast interview, which is cool. And that's it. I mean, this thing's only like 5 pages, but I mean, I want to go back to that illustration. That's like the best part of this booklet. Really cool. Really, really like that. But that's Blu-ray Volume 2. Blu-ray Volume 3 just got released in Japan. Actually releases tomorrow, because Fridays are release dates for, well, Saturdays are release dates for anime and stuff. But that kind of concludes the whole segment. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, just kind of let me know. And yeah, that's really about it. If there's a certain like unboxing video you want me to do, I'll put out a list on the next streaming event, and I'll post everything that I own for Japanese Blu-rays and stuff. And then if there's like an unboxing that I haven't done, and you want to see one of stuff that I have, or maybe it's something I don't have and I can try to acquire it, just send me a message and let me know, and then I'll kind of do my research on it and stuff and just kind of see. But yeah, that concludes the event, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching.